It is a truly remarkable sight to behold. A flock of flamingos standing together in the shimmering shallows presents a vibrant splash of pink against the blue water. But their appearance, striking as it is perhaps not their most curious feature. That honor belongs to their extraordinary method of feeding. A flamingo does something quite unusual. It eats with its head completely upside down. It lowers its long, elegant neck, placing its large, curved beak into the water, but inverted. It seems a rather awkward position for a meal. Yet for the flamingo, it is the most natural and efficient way to gather sustenance from the muddy bottoms of the lakes and lagoons they call home. This specialized beak is no ordinary instrument. It is a highly sophisticated filter. The upper part of the beak, which is the smaller piece, acts like a lid, while the larger, trough-like lower part sits on top when the bird feeds. The edges of this peculiar beak are lined with fine, hair-like structures called lamellae. These act like a tiny sieve. As the flamingo uses its thick, powerful tongue to pump water in and out of its beak, these lamellae trap all the tasty morsels. It is a wonderfully effective system, allowing the bird to separate its food from the mud and water with incredible precision, a feat of natural engineering refined over millions of years. Imagine trying to have your dinner while standing on your head. It is a baffling thought for us. But for the flamingo, this upside-down dining is the key to its survival. The bird will march slowly through the water, sweeping its head from side to side, constantly pumping and filtering. This continuous motion allows it to search a wide area for food without having to lift its head and start over. It can spend a great deal of its day in this posture, patiently sifting through the silt and sediment, completely at ease in a world turned on its head. It is a testament to the incredible adaptability of life on our planet. The beak itself is a marvel of evolution, perfectly shaped for its unique task. The sharp end in the middle is not just for show, it is precisely angled to allow the beak to sit flat against the lake bed when the flamingo's head is lowered. This design ensures the maximum amount of water and mud can be processed with each pump of its tongue. Without this specialized tool, the flamingo would be unable to access the rich buffet hidden just beneath the surface of the water. It is a beautiful example of how a creature's anatomy is intricately linked to its environment and its specific way of life. A perfect solution to a particular challenge. The flamingo is famous, of course, for its brilliant pink and crimson feathers, but a flamingo is not born this way. A young chick hatches with soft, downy feathers of gray or white. So, where does this spectacular color come from? The secret lies entirely in its diet. The tiny organisms that the flamingo filters from the water are rich in pigments called carotenoids. These are the very same natural colorants that give carrots their orange hue and make ripe tomatoes red. For the flamingo, these pigments are the paint with which it colors its own magnificent plumage, a living canvas decorated by its daily meals. The primary sources of these carotenoids are media group, blue-green algae on water surface, algae blooming in shallow pondostalker distribute equally, blue-green algae, tiny crustaceans like brine shrimp, insect larvae, and small mollusks. As the flamingo consumes vast quantities of this microscopic feast, the pigments are broken down in its digestive system and deposited in its growing feathers. The more carotenoid-rich food a flamingo eats, the more vibrant its coloring becomes. A pale whitish flamingo is often a sign that it is not finding enough of the right food, or perhaps it is unwell. The brightness of their feathers, therefore, serves as an honest signal of their health and foraging success. A truly vibrant pink is a declaration of a bird that is thriving. This connection between diet and color is a wonderful illustration of the phrase, "You are what you eat." The flamingo literally wears its diet for all to see. Different species of flamingo can exhibit different shades, from the pale pink of the greater flamingo to the brilliant crimson of the American flamingo, depending on the specific types of algae and invertebrates available in their local habitats. It is a subtle but clear indicator of the chemistry of the water and the life it supports. The bird's color is a direct reflection of the health and composition of the ecosystem it inhabits, a living barometer of its environment. The process is not instant, of course. The color gradually builds up in the feathers as they grow. When a flamingo molts and grows a new set of feathers, it must continue to consume a carotenoid-rich diet to maintain its splendid appearance. This is why flamingos in zoos must be provided with special food that contains these essential pigments. Without them, they would eventually turn a dull white. The bird's iconic color is not a permanent genetic trait, but a continuous, lifelong commitment to a very specific menu, a beautiful and direct link between the animal and its food source. When the breeding season arrives, the calm, quiet feeding of the flamingo flocks gives way to one of nature's most spectacular displays. The birds gather in large, dense groups to perform elaborate courtship rituals. These are not simple, individual gestures. They are highly synchronized group dances. Hundreds, sometimes thousands, of flamingos will march together in unison, like a great feathered army on parade. They stretch their necks high, turn their heads abruptly from side to side in a movement known as head flagging, and call out loudly to one another, creating a dazzling spectacle of sound and movement that fills the air. These dances are a complex form of communication. They allow the birds to find a mate and synchronize the breeding cycle of the entire colony. By performing together, they ensure that most of the birds will be ready to nest and lay their eggs at roughly the same time. This is a crucial strategy for survival. When all the chicks hatch together, it creates a safety in numbers effect, overwhelming predators who can only take a small fraction of the young. The group dances, therefore, are not just about romance. They are a vital part of a communal strategy for raising the next generation successfully and safely. Once a pair has formed, they leave the dancing troupe to build their nest. A flamingo nest is a rather humble, yet effective structure. Using their beaks, they gather mud, small stones, and feathers, building a raised mound that looks like a miniature volcano. This mound can be up to a foot high, and its elevation is critically important. It lifts the egg and the nesting parent just high enough to protect them from the flooding that can occur in these low-lying wetlands. Both the male and the female work together to construct this muddy platform, a shared effort in preparation for their parental duties. Both parents are deeply involved in caring for their single, chalky white egg. They take turns incubating it, a process that lasts for about a month. One parent will sit carefully on the nest while the other goes off to feed. When the chick finally hatches, it is looked after by both parents with immense care. They feed the chick a special nutrient-rich liquid called crop milk, which is produced in their upper digestive tract. Remarkably, this milk is red and packed with the same carotenoid pigments that color their feathers, giving the chick the nutrients it needs to grow strong in its first few weeks of life. Flamingos are much more than just beautiful birds. They play a vital role in the health of their wetland environments. They are often considered a keystone species, which means their presence has a significant impact on the entire ecosystem. By feeding, they stir up the mud and sediment on the bottom of lakes and lagoons. This action aerates the water and recycles nutrients, making them available for other plants and animals. Their constant treading and wading helps to keep the shallow waters open, preventing them from becoming overgrown with vegetation and maintaining the unique character of these precious habitats. Unfortunately, these magnificent birds and the wetlands they depend on face numerous threats from human activity. The loss of habitat is perhaps the greatest danger. Wetlands are drained for agriculture or urban development, and water sources are diverted for industry, causing the flamingos' shallow feeding grounds to dry up completely. Pollution from industrial waste and agricultural runoff can contaminate their food supply, poisoning the birds and the entire food chain. Climate change also poses a serious risk, altering rainfall patterns and leading to more frequent droughts, which can render entire breeding sites unsuitable for nesting. Protecting flamingos means we must also protect their homes. When we conserve the vast wetlands that flamingos require, We are not just saving a single species. We are safeguarding an entire ecosystem that supports a tremendous diversity of life. These areas are crucial for countless other species of birds, fish, insects, and plants. Furthermore, healthy wetlands act as natural water purifiers. They help to control floods and they store vast amounts of carbon, which helps to regulate our climate. Saving the flamingo is, in essence, an act of saving a whole world of interconnected life, including our own. Therefore, the flamingo stands as a vibrant, pink ambassador for some of the world's most threatened environments. Its beauty captures our imagination, but its vulnerability should capture our attention and spur us to action. By working to preserve their habitats, reduce pollution, and address the challenges of a changing climate, we can ensure that future generations will also have the chance to witness the breathtaking spectacle of a flamingo flock. Appreciating and protecting these natural wonders is a responsibility we all share, for their survival is inextricably linked to the health of our shared planet.